This story, I think, has a lot of universal implications because so many people are faced with tragedy, not just from violent crime or specifically homicide, but I think, you know, sometimes we're all faced with the worst that life can throw at us. And at that point, we have a very real decision to make. You know, what comes next? Do we collapse under the weight of that? Or do we try to somehow rise above it? And what Jackie McDonald did was a perfect example of somebody who not just rose above it, but brought other people up as well. Her mother works regularly to help other families that are in pain. Jackie McDonald had to learn so much about homicide investigation, about working with the media and law enforcement, and how to supplement those efforts, and she continues to help people today. I was lucky enough to be able to go with Jackie McDonald to the Capitol when she received her National Crime Victim Service Award. That is an annual event that happens at the beginning of Crime Victims' Rights Week at the Capitol every year. There is a vast network of survivors of violent crime, of advocates and people who are working in legislative areas, in support, emotional support areas, that form this incredible supportive network. It's a horrible price to pay, but when you are in there, the fealty between the members is incredible. And really, I was so blessed to be able to kind of see that in action. While I was writing this book, I came to a better understanding of the different ways in which people mourn. Jackie McDonald took her daughter's death and channeled all of her energy into this relentless crusade on her daughter's behalf. There are other people that were close to Debbie that kind of retreated within themselves, who lost their faith to some extent, not necessarily in God, but in an underlying goodness in people. And all of those, I think, are valid ways of mourning. There are people who carry the anger and the hurt with them from the loss of their loved one. There are people who never talk about it again. And who am I to say what's the better way to mourn? But I'm glad for those people who have taken their pain and turned it into a way to keep other people from experiencing that same pain. There are so many people who have important stories to tell. And I was very lucky and feel very blessed to have been able to tell one of those stories.